Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we are back in this. I know it's been a while since I've done a video on this channel, but there's been a lot going on. School, work, holidays, haven't been feeling well, and we're back here. And today we're gonna be doing a tier list of if I think each team needs a new starting quarterback, or 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 not heading into 2026. Now, the factors that I'm doing for this video are gonna be whether I think they're going to need a new whether I think, their starter now is going to be ready for 2026 or if I think, yeah, other factors. So we're going to start the Cardinals. Yes, they're getting a new quarterback. Kyler Murray pretty much got benched. Even though he was hurt, he pretty much got benched. And there's really no recuperating from that. I think they're going to trade or release him, and they're going to look at new whether it's in the draft or free agency. The the Falcons are in a weird spot because I think there's a good chance they get a new quarterback because I think it's going to factor if Michael Penix is going to be ready for 2026 because he does have that torn knee, and if they want to trust Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins guarantees end after this season, so they could get off that contract and not have to pay him the guaranteed money that they otherwise would have had to pay him that they otherwise would have had to pay him a while back. That they otherwise would have had to pay him a while back. So I think they could. I think there's a good chance that they have a new quarterback at least to start 2026. Ravens, I would have said not a chance at the beginning of the season because it is Lamar Jackson. But there's been talks that there's been some turmoil between the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. It sounds like Lamar might be wanting the team to choose him or John Harbaugh. So there is a chance Lamar could be on the move. He also wants a new contract. Now, I don't think they will move on from him because I think they're going to move on from John Harbaugh. I think they're going to move on from John Harbaugh before they move on from Lamar. But anything's possible. Like but that's why it's a low chance because it's not impossible. I just don't see it happening. Bills ain't getting a new quarterback. Josh Allen, reigning MVP, having a really good year this year, has a big contract too. There's no way that he's not the quarterback. Panthers, beginning of the year, I would have said good chance, but Bryce Young has been weird. Bryce Young, I don't think is going anywhere. They have to make a decision on his fifth year option. I think they will accept it. He's looked pretty good. I mean, right now Carolina leads there. Right now Carolina leads the division, and I don't think. And Bryce Young has looked better this year. He kind of started off shaky. So yeah. Bears not a chance. Caleb Williams is, despite what some Bears fans think, some Bears fans don't think Caleb is their guy. I do. He's only in year two. He's only going to get better. And he has Ben Johnson who's helped turn him into one of the best quarterbacks and not one of the best in the league, but has turned him into a pretty manageable quarterback. The Bengals are in a tough spot. I'm going to say for the Bengals, I am going to say possibly for the Bengals because I don't think they will. I think Joe Burrow, obviously he's a good quarterback, but he's been injury prone the last few years. But they don't build him an O-line. They aren't giving him tools to succeed. They aren't giving him the necessary tools to succeed, and I think there's a chance he could want out of Cincinnati, which it wouldn't surprise me. I think he's just, he's a starting quarterback, but I don't know if he's going to want to put up with the Bengals. Problem is they just signed him to an extension not too long ago, and they got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So I feel like one of them would want to go with, at least one of them would want to go with Burrow wherever he went. Browns, possibly. I mean, next year they're going to have Shedeur Sanders or Deshaun Watson start. I don't think Deshaun Watson should start, and I think Shedeur is good, but I don't know if Shedeur is the guy. I think they, I think they try to bring in somebody to maybe like on a short-term, 1-year prove-it deal, but I just don't see a way. I just don't see a way that like they don't consider bringing in a quarterback. I think it depends on who's available. These next ones are easy. Cowboys ain't getting a new quarterback. Dak Prescott is very good. Dallas is a better team when he is healthy and he plays. He has been the catalyst for that offense for the last decade, and nothing's going to change. Broncos, same thing. Bo Nix seems like a Sean Payton quarterback. He's got a good arm. He hasn't been as efficient as he was last year, but I think he's still a really good quarterback, and I think the Broncos are going to build around him heavily. Lions, I wanted to say low chance, but I don't think there's a chance. Jared Goff is being paid a good chunk of money, and he's been very good, but he hasn't had to do a lot either because of the run game with Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. But he has a good receiving core, and yes, so something's working. Packers, no. Jordan Love, $55 million quarterback. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. He's a good quarterback, despite what people say. He's a good quarterback. And I think the Packers would rather keep him. I think they're going to keep him. He's a good quarterback, and he's the franchise there, so they're not getting. Texans, nah. Texans are keeping CJ Stroud. They've been on a big win streak. They clinched the playoffs again. CJ Stroud, even though he's been inconsistent, I think they're gonna stick with him. Colts, I'm gonna say good chance for a multitude of factors. Don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be healthy for 2026 right away because he has a fractured fibula and the torn Achilles. And I don't know if the Colts are going to want to give him a long-term deal. I think the Colts could give him a short-term contract, but is he going to want that though with being out for so long? So, and that begs the question. I think there's a good chance that they start 2026 with the new quarterback, whether that's Riley Leonard, Anthony Richardson, they bring in somebody, or even if Daniel Jones is on the roster, because I don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be healthy to start the year. He might just sit on the PUP list. So, but I think there's a good chance the Colts will have a new starter next year. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence has looked really good this year under Liam Cohen in Cohen's first year in Jacksonville. I mean, they're leading the division right now, and I think that he's their quarterback, and they're not going to move off of him. Chiefs, low chance. Mahomes or Minshew will be back probably to start next season, and that's why they're in low chance. Actually, I'm going to bump them down to non chance because they're not going to get a new quarterback because obviously Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but who knows if he starts 2026. Raiders are getting a new quarterback. Geno Smith has been terrible. Kenny Pickett isn't good. Aiden O'Connell isn't a long-term option. They have the number one pick too as things stand, so I think that that the Raiders are getting a new coach, quarterback. They're going to clean house. Maybe Fernando Mendoza. We'll see. Chargers ain't getting a new quarterback. I think they could consider, but I don't think they're going to. Justin Herbert has been very inconsistent this year, but they're also paying him a lot of money, and I just don't think they're gonna move him. The Rams, the Rams are a toughie because I feel like the Rams. I'm gonna put the Rams under possibly because it depends on Matthew Stafford. He's been talking about retiring for the last like 2 years. And the thing I've learned with NFL players is that they start talking about retirement, it usually means that they are going to retire within like, 2 or 3 years. I think if the Rams win the Super Bowl this year, he's done. Because right off in the sunset, which would mean the Rams would have to look for a new quarterback. But I also think if they don't win the Super Bowl, Stafford could stick around another year. So either way, though, I think they're going to explore getting a new quarterback, but like they're not going to start until Stafford retires. So yeah, so that's where I am with the Rams. Dolphins, I'm going to say now. Call me. I'm going to say yes. I think who is benching kind of pretty much burned that bridge. I think benching Tua burnt that bridge. I don't think he's going to be the quarterback anymore. I think they're going to move him, and he's going to go to another team, whether to be a backup reclamation project or to be a starter somewhere else. But I just don't see a way he's the starting quarterback for the Dolphins in 2026. Vikings, good chance. JJ McCarthy hasn't been great. That being said, the reason why they're in good chance and not yes is because I think they would want to see if McCarthy does improve in his second year as a starter, third year in the system. But I think there's a good chance they do get a new quarterback. They're gonna bring in someone, Mac Jones maybe. They acquire maybe Malik Willis. I think they do get a quarterback, but we'll see what happens. Patriots ain't getting a new quarterback. Drake May is him, MVP runner-up. Like Stafford's the MVP, but May's probably MVP runner-up. Patriots, AFC East champions. There's no, there's yeah, they're not getting a new quarterback. Saints, I'm not gonna rule it out. I'm not gonna rule it out, but I don't think so. Tyler Shook has played really good for the Saints with what they've had to work with. So I think if there's a better option available that they can afford, I think they do it. But I just don't see it. I think there's a very low chance. I think Tyler Shook is the guy. Giants. Jackson Dart is the guy. I think Jackson Dart is going to be the quarterback of the future for the Giants. Jets, yes. Justin Fields, terrible. Tyrod Taylor is to an age where he shouldn't be the full-time starter. And Brady Cook, yeah, no. Jets are getting a new quarterback. Eagles, no. Jalen Hurts, gone to the Super Bowl twice, Super Bowl MVP. They're not going to move him. They're not going to move him. Even if they should consider it, they're not going to. Steelers, I'm going to say good chance. The only reason they're not in yes is because knowing Aaron Rodgers, I think Rodgers will retire. I think there's a greater than 70% chance he will retire. But at the same time, it is Aaron Rodgers. And I think if they miss the playoffs or if they don't go far, I think Rodgers could change his mind and say, "Hey, I want to be back for another year." So, I'm not ruling him out coming back, but I think he is done. So that's why I think there's a good chance Steelers will have a new quarterback in 2026. Like I said, they could get Kyler Murray or Tua or somebody, but I think there's going to get a new 49ers ain't moving off Brock Purdy. They just gave him a long-term contract extension, and they're playing really good. Seahawks ain't getting a new quarterback. Ain't getting a new quarterback. Sam Darnold, ever since he went to Minnesota last year, has been playing great. Seattle right now has the 1 seed in the NFC, and he's been a big part of that, so they're not getting a new quarterback. Buccaneers, I'm going to say not a chance, but I think if Baker Mayfield continues to put stinkers up into next year, he can move into for 2026 low chance. I I still believe in Baker Mayfield, but I just don't like see if Titans low chance. I don't think they move Cam Ward. I don't think they move Cam Ward. I'd say there's like 20% chance Cam Ward isn't the starter next year, but I think if someone else did become available, they'd consider it. But I don't think they're going to. Commanders ain't getting a new quarterback. Shane Daniels is him when healthy. I don't think they're going to get a new quarterback. So yeah, this is the full list. I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments. This is actually a re this I actually had to redo the audio for this. So yeah, if you guys like, don't forget to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.